Hi, Marc. Nice to have you here. Marc is the head of Europe at Material Bank, and I would like just to make us a small introduction about what you are doing and how this can, let's say, create a different approach of how we can perceive materials.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for having me. I think we have a few pages to talk about Material Bank. We're essentially the largest marketplace for architecture and design materials, and we serve two purposes. On one side, we work with material manufacturers and producers, and on the other side, we work with the design community, architects and interior designers to help source, search, and sample materials in the fastest and most powerful way possible today. And so I think there are a few,
Yep.
Can I use this? But essentially we're a US-based company. We started in the US in 2019. And as we said, on the one hand, working with the design community to really help the specification process, discovery and specification process. And on the other hand, really helping material manufacturers reach a broader audience and put their products in front of the design community in really a meaningful way. As you know, in the past, or if you don't use Material Bank today and you want to get access to new materials, you generally need to connect with multiple different manufacturers, their sales team, and then you get multiple packages in your studio or office and so forth. So it's really a cumbersome process. What Material Bank allows to do is consolidate everything in one simple shipment, in one simple box, and get that really next day. We allow for ordering until 6:30 p.m. So the magic is that we have one warehouse where we consolidate all the materials, and then it gets delivered the very next morning all across Europe, obviously including Greece as well, and the islands. We're really trying to change the way the industry works. Just to give you an example, over the last 90 days, we have sent samples to over 2,200 cities across 30 plus European countries. We now have almost already 500 brand partners that work with us, really trying to partner with the category leaders in each of the segments, and so we're very proud about this. We almost have 50,000 members from design studios and offices across Europe that are now registered on Material Bank and use us also every day to access and sample new materials. As I said, this is a completely free tool for the architects and designers, and we really work on behalf of the manufacturers who are the ones really subsidizing the platform. We also work with corporate firms. And I just wanted to briefly show you how it works, and then we'll have a video and obviously questions as well. But essentially what the platform allows to do is simply introduce any product search. It's going to go ahead and search over 50,000 references. In this case, we could search whatever we wanted to. We'll have a next page which essentially shows all the different products. On the left-hand side of the page, you see filters, which really allows the designers to really see what they're looking for. So you can filter by brand, you can filter by price, you can filter by availability, sustainability filters, any technical characteristics that are of interest, and so forth. Each brand, this is an example from Cosentino, has their own brand page as well, so products can be organized by brand. We have detailed information for each reference, so you really have the product description. You can have access to the product catalog, technical information about the products as well. You can also speak directly with the brand representatives through our platform. So it's really comprehensive. We have collaboration tools as well, such as boards, so that the teams can work internally within the design studios, and when you save materials that you're interested in, you can then save them in your boards and share them with your colleagues, so it makes the design process really much more streamlined. We also have a visual search, so you can have a pattern matching if you're looking to replicate a particular texture image that you got inspired from. As I was sharing before, you can share those boards and then download all the technical characteristics. So there is really a lot on the platform. This is just the feature about communication directly with the brand representatives, which is also very helpful. As I said before, we work on behalf of all of our brands, so we do not sell any materials. We're just a technology layer that connects designers with the latest product catalog from hundreds of manufacturers. So we're really just a technology layer, and ultimately really make that connection between the manufacturers, the producers, and the designers much easier. So you can chat directly with the brands, ask technical questions that may not be available online, product availability, and so forth. Lastly, we put a lot of importance in our content and community, so we invest significant time and resources on always producing inspirational mood boards and collections. We, obviously we're here this weekend, but we spend time also going to all the shows across Europe, write trend reports about what's happening, what we see happening in the industry, and then publish them, through mood boards and through articles as well, available to our community and our social media pages. Obviously, sustainability is also a big part of what we do, and we consolidate everything, so that's already a big plus, but also participate in a carbon impact program that also helps reducing CO2 emissions. How is all of that possible? Is thanks to a big, large logistics hub. That's in this image is the one that we have in the US. We have another one in Europe that's similar to this one. And so we consolidate everything in one single building. There's supposed to be a video. Let me see if it's going to work. I'm not sure. No,
Can you play the video?
Well, that's the... here we go. So it essentially shows how it works when you place an order online. We have a robotic-based facility. There are like thousands of samples here. There's a control center. We really put a lot of importance in the packaging. So everything is received by the designers as if it was a mood board, so that our packages can directly be brought into client meetings, team meetings internally, and so forth. Just a few examples of the mood boards that the community creates. So with that, present in the US and in Europe and as well in Japan, so we're really a global platform. Despite being global, for us it's very important also to be local, so we work here in Greece very closely with our friends at Progetto. So thank you very much for your partnership in Greece, and for us it's very important as well to have the right partners locally and to be closer to the community. And so I have a small stand over there, and so don't hesitate to say hi as well, and thank you so much for having us. That's a sneak peek of Material Bank.
Thank you, Marc. One small question. It's a very unique experience of this product identity. I would like to ask, I see that you use a lot of value chains, distributed channels, and all this kind of how you're going to connect different materialities together and distribute. What about, let's say, as we're talking about, let's say, the previous session with timber and materiality and reusability, and how these things, do you have in mind how you are going to process, let's say, either second hands or materials that can be, let's say, processed from one building going to another one, and how you are deal with this?
Yeah, it's a great question, because we get a lot of questions around sustainability and making sure that our material selection is comprehensive, and also obviously considers the reusability. I think our approach ultimately is really to give a leveled playing ground for all the manufacturers that participate in the marketplace. We have a number of brands that use recycled materials, reused materials. We're seeing a lot of those use cases, especially and particularly around plastic, where we have a few brands that are leading the pack on that front. And so that's the first approach that we take. The second approach that we take is that we really take our sustainability filters and product information very seriously. And so trying to make as easy as possible for the decision makers, so ultimately the architects, the prescribers, and ultimately anyone involved in the project to be able to make the most informed decisions possible in terms of sustainability. So that's that. I have to say as well that obviously there are, I think, 2 pain points really that we were trying to solve for the industry. One is logistics-wise and in terms of the operations through obviously the warehouse and the shipping. There's another large, big pain point and problem that we're seeing, which is data availability, data homogenization, product comparison and so forth, especially when you start to get a bit deeper into sustainability aspects. So that's something that we're working very hard on in trying to work with all the producers that we have on our website and homogenizing that product data. We are hoping that we can use AI as well to help us leverage and really enhance that capability, and so that's very high on our priority list.
Great. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work and expand the network, and looking forward for the next time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having us.